Alright, dudes, it's time for the truth that is Shokugeki no Soma. This will be chapter 138. So, um, you know, last week when I asked about your thoughts on what Azami's reaction would be, I made sure that I didn't outright state that he would absolutely get pissed off right away. Um, for a reason, because Azami, as as crazy and batshit as he is, he's also very methodical. So, because the fact that when we first saw him, he had already gotten to the Elite Ten. He had already spoken with them privately to the point where Senzaemon had no idea what Azumi was doing until it was too late. So, while he is batshit crazy, he's also very methodical. Um, Still pumping up that Hannibal Lecter stuff, right? Because pretty sure he was methodical too, wasn't he? I gotta I gotta watch Silence of the Lambs. I never watched it, but anyway, um, it's on my list. So this particular chapter, I'm gonna talk about Azumi first because we'll talk about everything else later. So Azumi, the fact that he kind of reacted, he kind of understood that this was going to happen, and honestly, he should have because he's being a prick. And he knows it. He knows he's a prick. And yeah, he figured it would also be Alice. So that's bad for Alice. That's bad news for her. I don't know what he plans to do with her, but hopefully it's not eating her, because that would be really bad. Um, anyway, so you know, uh, he gets his advisor to apologize to the party. That canceling all of Erina's uh, tasting jobs. Pause. I don't know, but um, yeah. And he's just like, "Is there a problem? Like, did you say something, bitch? Like, get on it. Like, I don't have time to do this. I'm the new fucking director. I got all kinds of shit to do. You do it." So yeah, like a boss, ordering around this badass looking dude. 'Cause he does look pretty cool. That guy, whoever is advising him. Um, anyway, let's move on to Polar Star. So, which is the meat of the chapter. Actually, before that, the ending. Let's talk about the ending before we go on to Polar Star because part of Azumi. Um, he brings. He brought this new. I guess I want to say like this, he's basically changing how the administration works. So he's regiment. That's what I was looking for. He has some sort of new regiment that he's going to implement um, with this new education method. Um, and obviously, it's very sinister. We have no idea what the contents are because we are not shown the contents. We can only assume at this point, or only guess, make an educated guess, that it's going to have to do something about blood and education. Uh, that's, I mean, that's the first thing I would assume is there's going to have to be something about blood and education involved, because that's something those are the two things that he was obsessed with when it came to, who is the elite, basically. So that's it for Azumi. Let's go to Polar Star. Uh, you know, Erina's just sitting on the steps, like, you know, drying off, sort of. But it was kind of funny how Soma just comes back. Oh, it's not Kiri. It's Erina and Hisako too. Why? But turns out that Alice ditched everybody with Krokiba, which, by the way, is smart. Even though it looked like a bad thing that Alice did that, it's actually smart because if Alice is gone too long, they're gonna suspect something. Um, even though Azumi knows that it was Alice, like she doesn't know that Azumi knows that it was her. So She is being smart, I think. Um, but yeah, Hisako, I mean, she doesn't give a shit if she's suspected because all she wants to be by Erina Sama, and that's it. So uh, you know, takes a bath. We get some fan service and shit, a little bit, but not too much for all y'all who really want to see her get more fan service. I don't really give a shit, but I mean, it looks good, but whatever. So you know, there's some there's some interesting dialogue. I think where when Hisako talks about what's going on with Erina, because at first they're very hesitant because it makes sense because they don't want to get involved right away until they actually hear her story. So Hisako does tell the story, and it's just hilarious how the second she walks out from the bath, everybody's crying. It's like, you can stay as long as you want. It was just great, great moment where they're just like, all right, we get it. Like you've been through some shit. Like go ahead, stay as long as you want. I just thought it was very funny. So, and then everybody gets excited about this. Like, the whole dish tasting thing was just it was funny because you know they finally have somebody like the God's Tongue that they can just do all this taste testing, and she's doing it for free right now. So while you can uh, get it done. So the first dish she tastes obviously was no good, and honestly, that's their attention to detail. Obviously, look at Erina's eyes when she says it's not good at all or no good at all. Um, she has the same eyes that she had after she was being manipulated by Azumi. She has those same cold eyes when she says it's no good at all. So it's really good attention to detail because you see her revert back to that kind of mechanical self that she has, and then she comes back and kind of goes back into reality. But she doesn't apologize, which is fine, whatever. Um, which is I do think that was cool. And now everybody's trying to get her to taste dishes, but she refuses to eat Soma's cooking, and that's like, yo, she doesn't even want to eat anything that Soma makes, which I thought was hilarious because it's just like everybody is like, yeah, Soma and Erina are growing to they're growing on each other, not too much. She still don't even want to taste his cooking. Um, I mean, she did earlier in the autumn elections, but it was kind of like a hush hush thing when he caught her reading manga. I think it was shoujo manga, but anyway, the conversation between Hisako and Soma was really good because she talks about how Erina is slowly changing, but I'm more interested in the fact that um, Soma and Hisako's their relationship has gotten better. Like it's really solid now to the point where even Erina comes up and just mumbles like, you guys have been turning good friends since the stagiaire period. You guys like fucking or something? Like what's going on?" And she's like, "What happened? Like what happened between you two?" Oh, I could tell you, Erina, but it was a long and passionate night that changed our relationship forever. That's what Soma should say, just to freak her out and think that he was hitting Hisako. Huh? That would be a great reaction if he said if he just made up some shit and was like, well, one night we realized that we really loved each other and we hit it off and we banged, and she would just immediately like just go nuts like, what? Are you kidding me? But they're not gonna do that. I mean, Shunseki and or Sukuna Yuto is not gonna do that. It would have been hilarious, but it's not gonna happen. But their relationship is getting better, which I do ship them. I mean, I ship Soma with Tadakoro overall, but with Hisako is I guess a close second, and then Alice is the third, just because Alice is hilarious. But even though it doesn't seem like they're meant for each other, I mean, it would work better than Erina. Just saying. Um, but yeah, Hisako and Soma, their relationship has gotten to the point where it's like they could easily start dating at any point, in my opinion, where they're like, "Hey, you want to go out?" Like, but it's that this is a shonen manga, and so Soma is your typical sexually oblivious main character. So that's not gonna happen. Um, I'm just I'm just fueling fire of fanboys. You guys know how I roll already. I troll pairing fan bases all the time. So uh, you know, there's not much else to talk about, I guess. But uh, we'll talk about just two more things, I guess. The first being we'll talk about the short thing first. Was when they mentioned cards. She immediately had a glimmer in her eyes, like, and her face changed. Like, cards? You guys are gonna play cards? Like, because that's apparently something that she loves to do. That we found out at the end of, like, near the end of the training camp, was she wanted to play cards, and then when she found out Soma was going to play cards, she's like, "Fuck that shit! Like, I can't be doing the same thing as him." Like, that's some hardcore tsundere shit. You know what I'm saying? Like she comes in this chapter on like full out Tsundere, super shining ultimate Tsundere attack. Like, holy shit. And then the second thing is, of course, as you guys know, Soma doing Soma, and Erina getting instantly reminded of Joichiro. And I'm like, oh shit, here we go. It's starting. The similarities are starting to show. For her, at least. I mean, we notice the similarities all the fucking time, but the similarities for her are starting to show. How long till she figures it out? I don't know, but when she finds out, she gonna be shocked. She's just gonna, she's just gonna, she might be pissed too. Who knows? Depends on what her relationship is with Selma when she finds out who Joichiro is in relation to Soma. But yeah, I don't know why. Like, I'm still sort of like I'm still questioning why that hasn't been revealed yet. Like, there has to be something critical that that reveal is going to do to her, um, for it to be prolonged this long and dick teased for since like chapter like 30 or so. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been over 100 chapters that this has been teased, and um, I don't know. There has to be some kind of significance that it'll play. Perhaps one that we don't expect. Like, I think, like, when I see a lot of people mention it, I see like comments like she's going to fall for Soma when she finds out that Joichiro is his dad. Like, that seems like extremely shallow if you ask me. Um, and not that she isn't shallow at this point, but I mean, no, she's not. She's not. That's something I can't say. Is she's not shallow. Um, so it's like she may be many things, but she isn't shallow. But that's the thing, is that would be really stupid if she finds out that Soma is Joichiro's kid and then is like, "Oh, suddenly I love Soma." What? Like, that really would be shallow and just stupid. It's like there's nothing that changed about Soma because she heard about it. Like, he's still the same person, you know what I mean? Like, it's just his lineage was partly revealed. I don't know. We still haven't found out about Soma's mother, but we'll we'll get there at some point. Um, because you guys, well, we already know who Soma's mother is. It's Crocodile, but I'm just kidding, guys. Guys, don't jump on that. Um, If you guys watch my One Piece reviews, you know that I always say that Crocodile is everybody's mother and or father, so don't take it personally. Anyway, uh, that's it. This chapter was really good. It was humorous. It had some good story building stuff, material. Plot progression was good because we saw some developments with Azumi. We saw some developments with we have Erina now staying at Polar Star for the time being. So something has happened on both fronts instead of just dialogue. You know what I'm saying? Some relationship building, character development, definitely. And yeah, so there's a lot that goes on in this chapter, and it does meet a lot of objective standards as well as have a really good enjoyment value to it. So that's it. Great chapter. So thank you guys for listening. We'll see you guys next time.